So today we're going to be putting on a new AC compressor. Alright, so today we're going to be putting on an AC compressor on my 2005 Scion TC. So before I get started, I want to make sure that you have removed the Freon out of the system and you do not evaporate into the atmosphere. Make sure you got the Freon out of the system already. Once the Freon is out of the system, you want to go ahead and watch this video and get started. So let's do that. Got the best deal on this compressor. So this is the new compressor. Bam. So we'll go ahead and get started and take off the old one. So let's get to it. Okay, so the first step you want to do is go ahead and remove this clip connector right here. So to do that, you just stick your hand down here and hook it. I need two hands, but there you go. So unhook that. Next step you want to do is go ahead and remove these hoses. Just trace them back down to the compressor. And there are two 10mm bolts up there. So go ahead and remove the first 10mm bolt. Got the first one out. Then go ahead and take this off. Just hold it up here or something. Whatever you're gonna do with it. Alright, so once you got off the connector and this hose, you wanna go ahead and remove this second hose, trace it back. 10mm bolt is up there. Go ahead and take off that 10mm bolt and you're good to go. So let's do that now. And got it off. Go ahead and take this one off too. You can set this one to the front, set that one to the back. That way you know this one came off the bottom, right there. This one came off the bottom. So now we got off the connector, we got off the two hoses. So we're gonna go ahead and get to the side of the car. Once you get the wheel off, you want to go ahead and remove these two bolts. One right there, one right there. So go ahead and remove those two. Alright, so to get off this bottom shell, you want to go ahead and take off this bolt right here. Once you remove this bolt, the shell should come down. This side of the shell, you have to remove this one. So to get to that, you just pull it down. And if you look inside of it, you should see this bolt right here. This should come out. Alright, once you have removed the front engine shell cover at the bottom of the car and the side shell on the side of the passenger side, you want to go ahead and grab your 19mm socket and your breaker bar or your ratchet. This is the part where it gets tricky because you have to look in here, and this is the easiest way I can remember it is by looking at this tensioner right here, and above this pulley you can see a bolt. So you can see the bolt right there above that tensioner right there where my finger is pointing at. So you want to follow that from the tensioner to the pulley and look right above the pulley and you will see the bolt. The trick is to find the best way to get some leverage here, because you have to pour this down and continue holding this down. Not just pull it and let go, but you have to pour this and hold it. And over here, you'll see the tension to drop down. This black part would drop down like a release tab. So when you pull this, this will drop down with it. But when you let go, this will go back up. So you have to hold this down. So as I pour this down, I'm gonna show you how the tensioner will go down with it. So my tip and trick here is to get in front of the car. If you're doing this on the ground without a lift, get in front of the car and pull it down. As you pull it down, take your other hand and slide it off the belt. And that's it. Go ahead and remove the bolts. There are 2 at the top and there are 2 at the bottom. But first you want to go ahead and take out the 2 at the top, then do the 2 at the bottom last. So that's the bolt. There's one on the other side right here. Just grab that one out too. Underneath the car, these are the 2 bolts. So AC compressor, 2 bolts right there. So go ahead and release those 2 bolts once again. So this bolt right here is basically the bolt that is holding the compressor right now. So go ahead and start holding it and start screwing this bolt out by hand. So make sure that bolt is at the top holding it. Then you can go ahead and slide it back. Get it out. Once you got it out, you can go ahead and set it down. And just pick this thing up. It's light. You can pick it up one-handed. I'm super skinny, so. We're gonna go ahead and grab the new compressor and get it back in the car. Make sure you got some bolts in your hand so you can go ahead and start putting these bolts up. I like to do the bolts at the bottom first. So, compressor goes in this way. So, straight up like this. Remember this in the front. So you just go ahead and start threading your bolts and hold your hand on it. Once you tighten up the 2 bottom bolts, go ahead on top of the car and tighten up the 2 top bolts. It is so hot out here, but hey, I'm getting this done. Tighten one on the other side also. Then we're gonna go ahead and stick our belt back on. Process is really easy. Same thing like I said before. Pull down the tensioner with your breaker bar or your extension wrench. Slide this belt back on like this, and that's it. In case your belt gets out of sync, this is how it goes back in. So remember, if this falls off, this right here, just slide it back up there with your hand. So, quick refresh, pull this down, slip the belt back over. I'm gonna do that now. the belt is back on. Alright, so now you want to double check everything. Make sure you got everything right on these pulleys. Make sure the belt is looped correctly. Okay, so now you want to go ahead and take this connector end of it and stick it on this metal mounting bracket. It should mount right up there on it. Then take the end of it. And it should clip right down. That is it with connecting everything back. And we'll go ahead and take our hoses and put them back on. To do the hoses, found it easier to do this line first. This is the L line that runs from the top. So the L goes at the bottom of the compressor. And then we go ahead and put on our line at the top. This line comes from the side and goes at the top of the compressor. Right. So everything should be back connected. Double check everything, double check your belt, double check everything over here. Last you want to do is go ahead and put this underskirting back on the car. That is it for this video. Give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe and comment. Thank you for watching. Peace.